So another one is streamlining your decisions. I found so much of anxiety comes from decision making, or really the lack of decision making or indecision. One of the smartest people I know, Dan Barry, got a PhD in microbiology. He said this to me. He goes, just pick one. You have two decisions. If you're agonizing this much, they must both be good decisions. So just pick one and leave me alone. He's very introverted. So he was like, okay, just make a decision. Because there's a difference between making a good decision and making a decision good. Those are two different things. You can have that mindset again. Now, if it's between a good and a bad decision, it should be fairly easy to make. And I'm not saying you won't make the wrong decision, but generally, another way to look at it is, does one option eliminate the other? My best friend lives in Seattle. He's from Cincinnati, and he was trying to figure out, do I move back to Cincinnati or do I stay in Seattle? And he was really torn about this. And I go, well, if I eliminated one of those options, which one would hurt you more? If I said to you right now, you have to leave Seattle, or if I go, you were stuck in Seattle, which one scares you? He goes, oh my God, I would hate to have to leave here. I go, there's your decision. And he ended up staying. He goes, at the end of the day, that helped me make a decision. If you took it away from me, I felt like, oh, that's the one I really wanted after all. And sometimes there's this idea of, there's a song by The Clash, should I stay or should I go? Sometimes one option eliminates the other. He could keep staying, and he always has the option of going, but once he leaves, it's hard to go back. That's another way to think about decisions. And a strategy, of course, I'm a writer, so of course I'm going to tell you about writing. Sit down and journal about your decisions that you're going to make. And stop asking yourself why. Ask yourself what. When you ask yourself why, it's a judgment. Why am I feeling this way? You can get there eventually, but start with what. Because when you say, why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling this way? You're just putting a lot of pressure on yourself to come up with why. But if you just go, what am I feeling? What am I feeling right now? You just write it out, and you'll find that it lead you to the why. It's kind of like how I give people advice now. I don't say should anymore. I really try to avoid saying should. You know what you should do? Because you say should, it sounds judgmental. It sounds like a command, like I'm telling you, here's what you should do. You should do this. But if I say, here's what you could do, people's ears open up, like, oh my God, it's giving me options. I might be able to do this. It opens up some possibilities. Instead of should, say could, and treat yourself that way too. Finally on this piece, recall the law of averages. Things have a way of reverting to the mean. At the University of Cincinnati, materials engineering, I remember I got a B in my mechanics class, and there was no plus-minus system at the time. I was so pissed off. I really wanted an A. I got an A in fluid mechanics, and that made me so happy because I worked so hard in that class. I got an A, I was so happy. I got a B in mechanics. It was mechanics 2. I was so angry about it. And I marched into Dean Young's office, and I told him, I should have had an A in this class. He was a very calm man. And he looked at me and he goes, okay, maybe you should have had an A in this class. But admit to me right now, there are probably times when you got an A and you should have gotten a B. And I realized how right he was. I also want to punch him in the face because that made so much sense. I'm like, you were so right about that, Dean Young. That's not fair, but you're right. But it's the same thing you will say to a cop. A police officer will stop you. You'll say, but officer, I was not speeding. And most police officers will look at you and go, well then fine. This ticket is for every other time that you were.